Hey, Miller, thanks for the time. Today marks 1 year. I talked to Nick and DJ about this of Tua going down and getting hurt against Mississippi State. What does it mean to you to see him come back in the story and now 3-0 with the Dolphins? Have you been watching, and what does it mean as a former teammate of yours to see
I mean,
that?
that's so awesome. Anytime it's with, especially with one of our guys, to see him persevere through an injury, it hits home close to me. Especially we've seen guys like Sean Dion that happened to, and now where he is. And now you got 2 or 3-0 with the Dolphins, playing really good football. It says a lot about the type of guys that come out of this place, that they persevere and continue to work, and I'm so happy for them.
Charlie Potter, you're up.
Hey, Miller, just sticking with that quarterback trend, what have you seen from Mac this year and what he's been able to accomplish? Does that surprise you at all?
It doesn't surprise me. I know it surprises a lot of people, especially on the outside. I don't want to just call all you guys out, but I know a lot of people didn't see that from Mac Jones, and we have for the past 2 or 3 years, the way he's worked and prepared and turned himself into one of the premier players in the country. So I'm proud of him. He's got to keep working, and I'm excited to see what else he can do.
Chase Goodbread, go ahead.
Miller, had a question for you about what you saw from Trevor Lawrence his freshman year in high school. Was there a particular throw or play that you saw him make that struck you wide-eyed, like, just kind of hit you, wow, what kind of talent this guy has?
Yeah, we were throwing bang eights, which is like a quick post, his freshman year, and they pulled out a radar gun, and they clocked him throwing the ball like 55 miles an hour, and I just kind of like turned around to the head coach, and I was like, that was not normal. Just little stuff like that here and there he would do. It would always catch your eye and be like, that was just not, I can't do that. So stuff like that.
Edwin Stanton with the next question.
Hey, Miller, how difficult and upsetting was it to, you're prepping for LSU and all of a sudden the game gets canceled, and now you got to turn around and prepare for Kentucky. Was that difficult, or what's that process like?
I think it's always hard when you go into a week preparing for one opponent, especially such a big game every year, LSU. I think everyone's really looking forward to that. But because of this year, how crazy it is, we have to be ready to kind of shift gears and get ready for another good Kentucky team. I think it says a lot about our staff and our coaches, and the players have done such a really good job of being able to go 180 in their mindset and get prepared for an entirely different team, another good team in Kentucky. So we're looking forward to that.
Over to Tony Sakalas.
Miller, somebody that catches passes yourself, how would you evaluate Najee Harris's receiving and just what he brings to the receiving game? And then also, how does that kind of help open up things for you as well to do your job?
I think it always helps when you have guys like Mechie, and I've had Waddle and Smitty outside catching balls. I hope they just double everybody and nobody covers me. That's my perfect world. Nobody covers me. They double team everybody else. But Najee's he's great. He's great running the ball, and obviously, as you guys seen, he's great catching the ball out of the backfield. And it's been a big help for our offense to kind of open up an offense with Najee catching the ball is really big. So hopefully we'll see that more in the next couple weeks. But he's very, very talented, as you guys have seen.
Michael Costagrande, go ahead.
Hey, Mel, just wondered, looking back a few years, what do you remember about Mac Jones when he came in as a freshman? What kind of player was he? What was he like in the locker room? What kind of memories do you have of him, 4 years ago?
I remember him being really skinny, skinnier than I was, and that says something because I was skinny. I just remember being small and undersized, but a very hard competitor, even on the scout field. He was always yelling at himself, I remember, because he wanted to be so good. He held himself to such a high standard. That's something that really sticks with me, and I think has led to his development. Being such the player he is now is because he holds such a high standard up for himself. So not only in the way that he plays, but in the way that he leads. That's you hear into the respect of a lot of guys early from that.
Mike Rodak, over to you.
Yeah, Miller, you touched on it a minute ago as far as having to take a 180, in the schedule potentially changing. And the way that it's set up now with the SEC, they can change opponents on you up until Monday night of each week. Just how does that affect you on Sundays and Mondays, potentially having to watch different teams or prepare for different teams other than the one that's on the schedule that week?
Yeah, obviously that makes game planning pretty difficult. But if we kind of go with, I know it's cliche to always say, Coach Saban says, but we want to be 1-0 every week, and we're going to play ourselves. So if we play to the best of our ability, it shouldn't matter who we're playing. So yes, we have to game plan, get ready for this defense, and it brings new challenges every week. But if we focus on what we need to do continue to get better at our craft each week. The tight ends get better at theirs, the O-line get better at theirs, the D-line better at theirs. Then at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter who we play. We should be able to line up on Saturday and play whoever. That's the goal, at least.
We're going to go over to Cecil next.
Miller, hey, this is Cecil Hurd at the Tuscaloosa News. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. I respect your privacy. If you don't want to answer this, that's fine. But per social media, during this off period, your relationship status changed, and I just wondered if that was part of the time off, or if that was how that worked out for you.
No, we had our bye weekend, and I got to go home and propose. So that was it was a good win on a bye weekend. So great day.
Congratulations to you and Abby.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Cecil. Tyler Waldrop, you're up.
Gosh, I hate to change it and be kind of negative after that question, but I just wanted to follow up on something that Coach Saban mentioned in his press conference. He said mentally it feels like Week 11 to him still, more like it would in a normal season. I'm just curious, does it feel that way for you? Does it mentally feel like, the regular season should be wrapping up? And if so, how do you maybe handle that the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think everyone's mental clock, especially if we played here for the past couple of years, where we would be this time of the season. We had an elongated, a weird camp, and obviously a weird summer, but I think it's just one of those things you have to adjust to. This year is unlike any we've had, any the coaches have had, or anywhere else. So I guess it's kind of just who can adapt to it the best. But no, our older guys like myself will all look back like, wait a minute, this is not where we would be regularly. But it's just another challenge, and whoever can adapt to that challenge the best will succeed this year. So, yeah.
We have time just for a few more. James Ogletree, go ahead.
Yeah, Miller, kind of along the same lines with Mac, and you mentioned, how he earned all the guys' respect with the way he set that standard for himself. What else were the people outside of the program who maybe doubted him or wondered what he could become? What were they missing about him? What didn't they get to see? And what kind of improvements have you seen from him on the field as a passer over that time that you've spent with him?
Well, something to the outside voices, I guess we'll say, is that Matt came in as a little white kid, 3-star recruit from Jacksonville, and so automatically you get put off. And he came here not a big name, and everyone just assumed he would get rolled over in the list of big names. And Bryce Young's done a fantastic job. I'm proud of the way he's developed and continued to grow and will be a great player. But Mac Jones is an elite passer and has continued to grow in his the way he prepares and has transformed himself into a very, very good player. So I just don't think you don't see a lot of the intangibles from the outside, and then you also don't see how a guy's going to develop. Those are things that are kind of hard to tell. So
We're going to finish up with Stephen Smith.
Miller, you have blocked for a lot of running backs in your time here at Alabama, but a young guy here in Jace McClellan, what have you seen from him as a freshman that has you thinking this kid can be something special also?
Yeah, I think Jace is a guy who's really stepped up as of late. Like I said earlier, it's a year where guys can go up and down, in and out of not only with injuries, but also with COVID now. So it's a time where younger guys have gotten a lot more reps. I think Jace has done a great job stepping into that role. He runs really, really hard. That's the first thing that jumps off when you watch Jace play. He runs hard. And he does a great job finishing even in practice, and that's going to pay off in games when he starts to get more and more carries. So that guy's really started to develop, and proud of the way he practices and plays. So
Thank you, Miller.
thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a good rest of your afternoon.